Alright, guys, welcome back to another episode of After the Bell. Today we've got the founders of TPL, one of the fastest growing fitness and youth communities in India. These guys have really been popping off. I'm your host, Arhaan.
And I'm Vishnu. Joining us today, we have the four owners Krish, Omar, Sarva, and Karan. These boys are probably going to be future entrepreneurs and also probably inmates, but let's see.
Let's get into it. So, guys, let's start simple. How did this even start? Who started TPL? Who said what? And how did this idea even come alive?
So basically, me and Omar, we wanted to build a huge community of people getting together. So we came up with only hosting sports tournaments. Then I reached out with two of my other founders, Krish and Sarva, who gave us the idea of adding entertainment and adding a twist, which has adrenaline for people to come.
Yeah, so we wanted something where, we wanted to stop Saturday nights and start Saturday mornings. So, waking up at 6:30 in the morning and dancing dancing like a crazy person is something that you wouldn't think of. But that's what we wanted to achieve. Instead of, get the same energy you would go out on a Saturday night, get it on the same, something like on the Saturday morning.
Okay, take us back to the first event that you guys hosted. Were there any moments during the setting up where you guys thought this would flop or this wouldn't work?
So at a certain point, we were, I'd say a few days before the event, and there was a huge problem that occurred that basically the entrance to the venue, the road was completely blocked off. They started digging, there was some construction work that was happening, and we were completely let down by it because they were not telling us an exact date on when they would be done, and whenever we did put our efforts to make them complete it faster, it was always a very flat response saying, yeah, it might take a few days. So at that point we were I think we should just cancel the event because we had done so much, put in all of our investments, we had paid for certain things, and at that point it was really not an option to reschedule it. But then, and everyone was let down. So after that we all came together and we were in the car at that moment, and we were all so blank. But we ended up deciding to postpone it, give a valid reason saying yeah, the construction work's happening, and we still did end up pushing through it and got the event done. So that was one of our main challenges, I would say. That
And the fun part is that we took a stand that if we're getting this event, we have to do it right. So 15 of us, me and our whole team, we wore gloves, we took cement in hands, and we built the road back so that we could get our event done. So that's the whole backstory of it.
So, in that period of delay, what do you guys do? How do you convey to the people your first event being shut down, being delayed for a period? That would have really worked on your mental state. How do you guys cope with that and come out of it?
So yeah, I think one part about TPL is being honest to our community. So we are very honest with whatever we're doing, let's say we have football tournament, we're gonna tell them honestly, we don't have any more slots left. We don't focus on the money part. We want people to get this exposure. So yeah, coming to this road, so we just posted a story saying that there's a BBMP work going on. The tournament is postponed to next week, and everybody was happy because we were honest.
So when the first event happened, what were you guys most stressed about? Someone would have crashed out about something, some last minute hiccups. What are you guys most tensed about?
So yeah, I think the road has a major role. That event, I don't know if you know, we were doing a rev showdown. So we've got cars Mustangs and stuff like that to come. The clearance is really low. So even after the road being built, the fact that we had to go get our hands dirty was a new experience.
How did you guys bring about getting all these Mustangs and all these different cars? How was that idea come of getting cars to a event with sports?
So basically, we wanted to do an event which has adrenaline maxed out. So adrenaline comes with guys who like cars and bikes, people who love sports, and raves. So we combined all the three of them, and we kept it as a lineup of events where the tournament's going on one side, the race happening on the other side, and then to close the event with a bang, we get these supercars, sports cars, and then give people the best event they've experienced.
Damn cool, by the way.
Okay, so during the first event itself, after you guys had started it, was there anything that happened in the event where you guys were like, oh no, we're screwed, we need to shut this down, we can't go forward with this?
It was not really oh no, we have to shut this down type of thing, but there was mostly a lot of fights happening during the football tournament going on. So it was mostly because we didn't have any professional referees
So Omar, why do you think all those fights occurred? Like I was there, bro. There were like every two teams were fighting each other. What was happening exactly? And the refs were not able to handle the situation. It was like escalating. But eventually, you like got it tamed down. Like how did it happen?
Yeah, mostly because the referees were like not. It was mostly about time management, and because the referees were not calling out the fouls properly, and mostly stuff like that. And it was not like people didn't know that the games were only like goal type of thing. Like if you score more goals, you like win the tournament or something like that. And then that's mostly like what they didn't understand.
Yeah, so that again comes to like a learning experience. After that event, we were like, anytime we're hosting a tournament, we're getting professional refs because that was like a huge thing. We've got the refs and the players fighting. It was a huge problem.
So before your first event, getting people to sign up, before people knew what TPL was, before you established yourself as a brand, how painful was that promo process and getting people to come? Did you beg your friends? Did you reach out to multiple people saying, show up, show up? How did this happen?
So I think, TPL, when we posted our first reel, hearing what came out of our mouth sounded like unreal. Like how the hell are they planning a rave, a football tournament, and a rev showdown? I don't even think we individually asked people to come. Yeah, we got a lot of people to come for our content creation, and then the word sort of just spread around. Oh, are you going to TPL? Are you going to TPL? Because like hearing what we were doing was just something unreal.
And that too, I'd say for our first event, we didn't have anything like a registration link. So we took like a huge gamble by keeping everything on spot. So if people didn't show up, we would have gone in a complete loss. But thankfully, it did end. Like people ended up showing. Like people actually came. So that was one thing that helped us out a lot.
This event seems like huge. You guys have said rev showdown, football, all of this. How long did the setup itself for the event take you? How long did it take?
So we started working overnight. We started the event day the day before the event. We started at 12 in the night, and it was a rough night. We had to sit with the truck people, pull out all the stuff manually. We didn't have any labor, so we had to take such heavy stuff, put it because there was a gen set, sound system, and all of that thing. So we started at 12, and our setup finished at around 6 in the morning, and that's when people started to come.
That was a day of, oh my god.
So we cut it short by a few minutes.
There was a point where three of them had to sit with the truck driver on one single seat.
Why?
Because they didn't have any mode of transport.
So we were getting all the tables from, I think, Big Brewski. We had got around 10-12 tables, and we got a truck to load it at night. This was at 2 a.m. by the way. So we got trucks to load it, and then we had to sit in the truck, take it, offload it, place it.
You guys didn't have any workers like doing it for you?
Something like that.
We did because for someone who's doing a first event, you'd expect them to do something small, like let's say a pickleball tournament, something, and just do it. I don't know. The venue we had was huge. It was completely spread out, and having such a big venue means you're gonna have a lot of troubles.
Yeah.
So what was the turnout you guys had in that first event? How was the turnout like?
So yeah, there were a few things that we didn't expect. The fights from the football, the rave starting off really slow. But at one point, like everything sort of just hit off. Like there was a point where I just felt like I was attending the event because everything just became fun. Like seeing those cars rev and stuff like that. I just like wow, I really pulled this off.
And I would say it's the idea that got the people. And for a first event, we only expected, let's say, 200, 300 people. But we had a count machine. And by the end of the event, we had around 850 people on our first event. So that gave us like, okay, the motivation to work more in the future.
So promotion wise for your event, what actually worked and like what didn't work at all?
So for the first event, I think it was, we were blank, right? This is something new for us. So the first thing we knew was Instagram. So only thing, we knew how to do, how to edit and how to post. So we really just pushed ourselves, we have to post a reel every 2 weeks. Every 2 days. We have to do this, we have to do that. So we really just pushed on content creation.
And more than having like your general staged content, we thought let it be casual, let the lines just flow instead of like keeping designated lines and keeping the video scripted. So mainly it was about that, making it seem natural.
So as Krish mentioned, like there was that one moment where the event, everything just clicked. So what was that moment for you, Krish, and for the rest of you, where that one specific moment where you felt like, okay, the event's running now it's happening?
So yeah, I didn't expect it. I thought, I'm gonna be on my ass. This has to be straight. This has to be. But at the end of the day, when it clicked, like everyone was just having fun. It was not like everyone was fighting. When the event clicked, I think it just was utter fun. There was no stress. There was nothing like that.
And we had all split ourselves into different parts of the venue. Like he was handling a football tournament, he was generally handling everything. Krish was at the DJ and I was at the entry. So for me, I was standing at the entry, I looked back and the place is packed. So I was just like, yeah, I think I've done my bit, and I moved and just enjoyed on my own. So that was the point where I realized.
For me, I think it would be the part where the supercars. So it was a lineup of three cars, three amazing cars, come like a Mustang, two other cars. When they entered with their loud engines, everyone just stared at the cars, and then that's what brought everyone together. And people went crazy at the event. Everyone had too much adrenaline in themselves. They were too excited of the cars coming in, them getting to see a car and taking pictures with it and all of that. So that is an experience what people don't actually get to see on a daily basis, and that's why we're making it very convenient for them.
Yeah, so for me, basically, I think it's mostly the finals of the football tournament, and beside the football tournament, it was mostly the slip and slide football that we got in, and there was a lot of people honestly inside the slip and slide, and it looked like they're having really like a lot of fun, and mostly the finals, yeah, and as Karan said, is mostly the ref showdown thing.
So what all did you guys have? You guys had like looks like you guys had everything.
Everything, yeah,
like
exactly.
what?
Oh yeah, we forgot to mention the slip and slide. So I think this was Karan's idea. So
I wanted to do something out of the box. Everyone's doing runs, all common thing. I wanted to do something that stays out and gets people to come without us being like, come. So I got the first concept in probably Bangalore. The only person to source out a slip and slide, keep it full-fledged slip and slide where people can just enjoy, fall, play. It's a proper inflatable with a football, and people just played, got fun, and the best part was I saw people, really having fun at the slip and slide, and they really asked me like, when do you have slip and slide in your next event? Would you have it? We want to play in it. So that's the whole point of it. And this concept was actually bought from no one else but Mr. Beast. So we saw Mr. Beast and sourced it from them. So it's the simplest ideas which makes it better.
So after this event, how did your guys' mentality change? Like now you knew you had something, and what do you do to move forward, and what's your next goals?
So I think one was the money, right? So when we started this event, we just decided we're gonna break even our costs and sort of just go about it. But after this event, we had so many expectations for people paying for the slip and slide. But at the event, being someone who started a business, you need to know how to make quick decisions, right? So we were like, how do we make we're a crowd focused, yeah. So we were like, how do we make them have more fun? So we were like, just let everyone enjoy it. Screw it. So yeah, of course we went in a loss, but I think coming back from that loss, because see, 4 of us at the start, we said we're not taking 1 rupee from our parents, and even if we do, we're going to pay them back with interest. Yeah. Okay, so we said, we need to pay back all the costs, right? We're not going to close this in a loss, right? So we thought, and we just started thinking, and then we just did it. It's sort of.
And I'd say after the event, like we know we're able to pull off something. It's not just a joke, as it just started off as like a cool casual thing that we would start up. But then when it got to that scale, we were like, okay, now we need to do something bigger than that. So we, I think, aimed straight for Mall of Asia after that, because the second event. So that's where we were aiming for.
So before we go into the second event itself, is there any memory for each of you, like individually, from the first event that's like still with you today, or like still motivates you?
I think mine has to be the construction part. Like I never expected myself to carry cement, and I'm looking at ChatGPT. How do you fix a road? So yeah. You.
Yeah, so for me, I think it's the slip and slide, of course, because me seeing so many people like have fun, and like it was crazy, honestly.
I'd mainly say like we were most of the time at Hennur working around the place. So there used to be this time during lunch we all used to go to this one spot called Big Fat Roll. We just used to eat rolls over there, and that was probably my most memorable moment. We used to just
Of course, it's a food.
we always just sit there, talk about how stressful the days.
Was it because of the food or because of all of you guys?
No, because all of us are together.
It's the food for sure.
For Sarva, it's the
No,
food.
okay, no. One part is definitely the food, but like we were all together, right? So it got us that much closer and that much more
Were you guys
motivated.
friends before?
No.
We were friends, like we were just
We're
Not
just
close.
acquaintances.
Yeah.
yeah.
We're just acquaintances, but
You guys knew each other. Like,
yeah.
I think with or without TPL, I've made like 3 friends I'm gonna know for life. So I think
Yeah. I think
TPL
this is
given
something
me
that's-
something like way more valuable than money, communities, everything.
yeah.
So like, if you guys weren't friends, like when Karan and Omar approached you two, or when whoever Karan or started the plan approached you guys with the plan, how do you guys say like, okay, I know this guy, but we're not that close, but how are we gonna become business partners, work, future, and all that?
You know what? It was like I was just sitting at home, okay, and I get a call from Karan, and I was like, "Whoa, this sounds exciting. Let's just try something." It was nothing planned. It was nothing like that. He just gave me a call, and like I'm down. It was just like how friends meet up. We were just like, okay, let's start a business.
That's pretty much like our
Yeah,
podcast.
that's
Yeah.
the-
Yeah. And before that, I'd say me and Krish were really close, and Karan and Omar were really close. So
So it just linked.
yeah, it just linked. So we thought, yeah, let's just do it.
So going into your second event, that was the big one. I have like a lot of questions about that. You guys got 2,000 people showing up. Your reels are getting like 50,000 views. You got DJ Chronic. You got multiple brands sponsoring, coffee brands. You guys are popping up. What was that event exactly? You got Mall of Asia, dude. The biggest mall in like the world now. How did that all that
Not
happen?
not in the world.
No,
but-
in Asia. In Asia.
In
my bad.
Asia, yeah.
So the Mall of Asia managers reached out to us and they were like,
They reached out to
yeah, they reached out to me. So
Yes,
actually, Mall of Asia, we pitched the idea to them before our first event, and they wanted us there first. But we wanted to build a community, and that's why like we'll do it on the second event. So they loved that idea from the start, and they wanted us to portray it in their.
Before Mall of Asia had their first event, we were approached saying that, because Karan just knew someone and they approached, why don't you do an event for me? And then we knew for a fact that, we're not going to be able to do this, we need to have a base.
Yeah,
So-
you gotta make a name first before aiming bigger.
Yeah, so that's the whole. They reached out to another run club.
What's the name of this run?
They reached out to a run club and they made them do the event. And then when they reached out to us, like, sure, we'll do it, why not? And then comes the expectations. They asked us to bring 800 people and we guaranteed them 1,500 people. But with the idea, again, it's all about the idea. All people from all over the Bangalore had come to Mall of Asia that day, and it was possibly one of the biggest events in Bangalore. And on a promotion wise, this is something which no one has done in Bangalore. So Krish has a gypsy. So that gypsy we converted into a promotional van. We put banners of our event around the gypsy, went all around Bangalore, UBCT, Church Street, Headnor, Kothnur, everywhere. And we, promoted our event, and that's how people, saw they're like, okay, these people are doing something, so we have to.
Like your dad went around with the van and all.
Yeah. And it's not only the gypsy we got, it's bikes coming and doing wheelies with us, just hyping up the crowd. And it's something, we're holding up a speaker, we got microphones, we're like, yeah, okay, we all care about this, that, we're just like, go crazy. But we were going around Church Street screaming, and cops are running behind us. Stop! So just screw it. We need to get.
You have a video of this.
Yeah, we do. It's posted.
Can I see
So that was the time where we were the talk of the town. Like everyone was just talking about how TPL is and how we have to be at TPL. Every outsider, every audience of us, and we have to be at TPL. That's why I love my community, because they are loyal to us and they love our idea.
So you guys got 2,000 plus people. You got a lot of fitness celebrities, coffee brands are
Show me
sponsoring,
later.
multiple sponsors. How did this happen? Like, how did all this come together to form such a crazy event? And how was the event overall, in your guys, each of your opinion?
Okay, so we had 20 days time to pull the event off. So we had to meet day and night, getting, yelled at by our parents, do your tuition, schooling. But we told them, this is going to be probably the biggest event. We need to do it. Then, as soon as we started speaking to people, we just posted a story that our event might happen on Mall of Asia. So they reached out to us, like brands like Evado, Wow, Red Bull, And a lot of brands, they're like, we want to be part of your event, how can we? Like, sure. So we had like around 15 coffee brands like Starbucks, everyone's favorite, and a lot more coffee brands. And then we had so many sponsors like Wow, Hivado, then
You just had the rev thing also, right? More car.
Rev Revolution.
yeah, we had two collaborators. So we had two collaborators who just gave an extra kick to the event, but mainly for 16 and 17-year-olds to handle a large scale event is something what we'd be proud of our whole life.
So,
That's-
our whole idea about the gypsy was like, we sat and one question we asked ourselves, like, how are we going to get 1,500 people to come for this event? It's not easy, right? So we just sat and then we were like, doing our advertisement only on Instagram is not going to work out. So, we were like, why don't we try physical advertising? And my dad just comes up to me and he's like, you know what, take the gypsy, I'll do it for you. And it just hit off, man.
What about you two?
They mostly finished everything. I don't have anything to say.
Like Karan said, you guys have like a quite well established community now. What do you think keeps people coming back to your events again and again?
So I'd say in the making of the Mall of Asia event, we had a lot of challenges. I'd say we had many limitations to the venue, changes that we would have made if we had full control over the event. And mainly, I'd say proving to everyone that we could do something like this, because there was a lot of pressure from the Mall of Asia side saying, if you guys don't bring us 1,500 people, it'll be a massive letdown. So I'd say the best moment was actually like showing to them, oh yeah, we've done something like this, what do you think? And you could see the reaction on their face, and that was probably what made it for me.
For us, mainly was to prove to our parents that we can do something, and to prove to the outsiders that we're not just a bunch of 16, 17-year-olds who are just doing this for fun, but actually, scaling it to a higher level.
And honestly, why this event worked was because 4 of us, we're friends, but we've got like different things we know how to work with. So Karan and me mainly focus on organizing the event and how it's going to work. And then Sarva is like he's one guy. I'm going to be very honest. He's one guy who's just gonna keep talking, but he brings out all the stats. So he's the one guy. He's really honest. And if he says, bro, this is not going to work out, we have to convince him. He's going to bring out numbers, percentages, everything. And Omar is just like a fitness freak, bro. I swear to God, the football, the first thing, I swear to God, nothing would have worked out if it wasn't for Omar.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we're a sports and entertainment organization. So if we don't properly execute the sports bit, that just makes us entertainment, and that doesn't
Coming
differentiate
to
us.
that, we do sports and entertainment. It's not like just sports. It's not just entertainment. I mean, it is. Sometimes, it is entertainment only. Sometimes it is only sports. But we are trying to just balance everything out.
So you guys have got as you guys mentioned, you got a very specific crowd of people that keep showing up and keeps attending your events. Why do you think this is?
So they love us, and then we always like deliver whatever we say, and we always have something out of the box. And
So for somebody that's never been to a TPL event itself, what do you think you should expect when you're coming there? Like, is it just something with fitness? Is it like just chaos? Is it fun? What is it?
I would say they can only expect excitement, adrenaline, because we offer a lot. We
It's
put
chaos.
a lot on the table. It's pure chaos where you really can't be nonchalant there. There's no room for that. You meet new people, you socialize, and then you get to experience what you've not experienced on a daily basis.
Is it like good chaos or like bad?
Good chaos. It's chaos, whereas they don't know what to do. They don't know where to be. Like we've got cars revving, we've got music playing, we've got the football finals happening. They're like how do I split myself into 3 and do everything?
Yeah.
So you guys have done events at Pendleton Park and Mall of Asia, two really big venues, good venues. So how do you guys decide on these venues and make sure that a venue is like TPL worthy and worthy of the name and other people coming?
Yeah, so our first venue, because we were no one, we were a nobody. We just had to get what we got. Nobody accepted us. We went to places. We went to they just called us crazy. Like, how do you expect this? And then finally we went to Pendleton, and they asked for a certain amount, and they said, okay, we'll let you do the event. And when we get the event, the venue, we just think of what we can maximize the venue to do.
Like where we can utilize each part of the venue. And I'd say for the first event, right, I wouldn't say Pendleton was the ideal venue, because obviously you can't aim for the best venue for your first event. We were a nobody then. We had to make a name for ourselves. So we had to make do with what we had, and Pendleton was the only option that we did have, because that was the only place that let us have the Rev Showdown, the football tournament, the slip and slide. Because slip and slide was a major, I'd say, drawback in getting a venue, because none of the venues were allowing us to have a slip and slide, saying it would get too dirty and all of that. So we utilized what we had, which was Pendleton Park.
Pendleton came, it was like a miracle. Like, they allowed everything. So we're really grateful for that venue. They agreed to everything. Putting a wet slip and slide, this, that on a turf, nobody's gonna allow it. But they were little.
I'd say you have to be thankful for your first venue, because that's what gets you started.
And Mall of Asia, what about that venue?
So yeah, Mall of Asia, when it came to Mall of Asia, man, you can do a lot of things. So, of course, it's a mall. They were a little bit strict, but, going to these meetings, going to these owners of the mall, going as a 16, 17-year-old, telling people who's been working all their life, they're not going to listen. But, the fact that you have to convince them, no, I want this. And then it's really about convincing.
And I would say Mall of Asia sets a standard for itself. So it increased our expectations to a higher level that, okay, Mall of Asia is one of the biggest malls in probably Asia. So we have to give a big event. And that's what we delivered. That, as what Omar said, what we do is what we deliver. So Mall of Asia, it has its own standard, and we had to meet that standard at one point. And the meetings, we had like continuous meetings, and getting yelled at by our parents, like, you've always been out, what are you doing? And once the event came out, once we proved to them that what TPL stands for, then they realized. So that's the whole point of having the Mall of Asia event. It was a really successful event. As comparing it to the first event, we had very less of problems, and the people who we were coordinating with were really cooperative with us and helpful towards and they supported us. So that makes it better, because the atmosphere you're working in, if it's not really fruitful, then you'll probably end up losing motivation to work.
So, not try to throw shade or anything, or maybe I am, I don't really care. TPL isn't exactly like other run clubs, like other boring run clubs that you just run, or isn't exactly only fitness.
So, TPL is not a run club. I'll just make it very clear. TPL is not a run club. Yeah, we get that sometimes, like, because we're doing it in the morning. And if you see whatever someone does in the morning is a run club, some area run club or all of that. But we stand out. Why? Is because we're not doing something minimal, something basic. We're doing something out of the concept always.
We aren't against running, because we are a sports and entertainment organization. If you play sports, every person who's played, when I started playing basketball, the first thing I didn't get to dribble the ball. My coach just made me run in circles. So in our Mall of Asia event, why we had a run was, one, because we had a run club partnering with us, and we're not against run clubs, but so yeah, in the future we want to have events where we're having a tournament, but we're having like a camp or something like that, where we are teaching people how to play a sport. So yeah, running does help sports, so we were benefited.
So what exactly is TPL if it isn't a fitness and or like a run club? What actually is it?
I'd say more than anything, it's being part of experiences that you wouldn't being part of activities that you wouldn't usually experience on a daily basis, like a slip and slide, or just giving any new experiences to people, whether it includes sports or doesn't, or whether it's that same way to the entertainment.
You would have heard the memes, right? People are only going to run clubs to meet girls, and They're just going,
Yeah.
I've seen people, struggling to run and they're basically only coming for the afters. So, when IPL, right? IPL, people come to watch, they have interest in the sport. People playing the sport love the sport. That's why they're coming. So, having a sport means people are actually enjoying what they do. Because, we don't want to make it whereas, okay, you're only coming for the afters and you're only enjoying the afters. We want everyone to enjoy every bit of the event.
So this is quite a big organization now. Do you guys ever sit and think like we're literally teenagers, 16, 17-year-olds running this, and it's becoming a big organization day by day and its name is growing. So what do you guys think about all this?
So basically, when we had our first meeting during the August of this year, we planned it out. We were like, see, we had a vision. We were like, bro, by the end of this year, we have to be higher than everyone. We have to set a standard for ourselves. So when we had the first meeting, we told clearly that we're going to be the next best thing in Bangalore. So we had a vision and we succeeded. That's what I want to say.
Yeah, so that pretty much sums it up. We wanted to be the best, and we have a reason. We
And-
want,
mainly wanted to do something productive instead of just being seen as these 15-year-olds that just love like messing around, just going out partying, something like that.
Because teenagers these days, for them, it's all pure partying and all that. So we're bringing new experience to them where it's fun, you like it, it's exciting, and doesn't involve anything harmful
Yeah,
or whatever.
it needs to be motivating enough where everyone wants to get up on, let's say, a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning and come and do something productive.
Do you think you guys exceeded your expectations and are now on track to become or already are the best in Bangalore?
So
I would say yes, we are, because that's what I believe. Everyone has their own opinions, but I believe that TPL stands best in the whole of Bangalore. After pulling, as your second event, pulling off, let's say 2,000, 2,500 people is not a small thing. So that our achievements speak for ourselves. Not like I'm saying it without any results. Our achievements speak for ourselves.
Yeah, if you want to talk about being the best, you got to think like a crazy person, right? We've just there's nothing wrong to talk about it. That's what I believe. We've had talks about so basically something that four of us do every Sunday at 3:00 we meet. Right, in a place where we can just sit down and talk, at a restaurant, something, we just go and meet and talk, right? So even if we don't have anything to talk about, we talk about the future. If you're not thinking like a crazy person, you're not going to get anywhere. So we've had plans like doing an India tour for TPL.
For just TPL.
For TPL, have tournaments in Mumbai, and then next week, go for a.
Are you going through with this plan or like?
Yeah, of course. We want to achieve this at one point.
But like not right now.
Not right now, of course.
We are planning to do this mainly on the 2026 summer, where everyone has holidays, and we're planning to hit 6 cities.
Mumbai, Pune, every Delhi,
Go to Chennai.
Kochi. We're talking about going to Kochi. Yeah.
Because I'd say after the Mall of Asia event, they had given us an opportunity to go to Chennai, right?
Yeah.
And do an event in one of the malls over there. So we were definitely down for that. So whether it goes through
And
the fact that we've gotten an opportunity like that and we have a chance to actually do something like that is.
And I would just like to add the main how we've gotten till here is probably with our parents' support, because none of us would even. We had a few drawbacks where our parents, made us sit down, gave us a good talk, motivated us. So without our parents' support, none of us could have ever come to this stage.
Yeah, and I think part of why this is successful, because people say, I don't in my future, I don't ever want to say, oh, I have to go to work. I want to go to work to have fun, right? And when I'm working with these guys, it's just utter fun, When we're talking about like the most serious stuff, when we're sitting, after the first time we're counting our cash, okay, we're screwed, okay, and then I just look at them, we all start laughing, and what? Today we did this, we deserve to enjoy. Let's go bowling, let's go do something. But so work with them, and when we look at this India tour, we don't look at it as something hard. I think I'm getting to go to 6 different cities with 3 of my best friends. It's fun, yeah.
So let's address this rumor that's been floating around for a while since you guys started. Kotnu Run Club. People say it's like just a carbon copy. Your TPL is just a carbon copy of that. What do you think about that?
Honestly, I wouldn't even consider it, because see, once you get at the top point, haters are just gonna hate. See, when you go on top, if you have haters, that means you're doing well, and that's what I'd like to take as motivation and work harder. And I wouldn't even call them as competition because they're somewhere else and we're somewhere else.
Yeah, so you know what? I would give it to KRC. Yeah, you know they are doing well,
Yeah, man,
but
they're
we are
last,
complete. We are
Whitefield
the
event.
opposite. We are nothing like a copy.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, personally before TPL also, I've
How
had
many
a lot
people
of
have?
you know parents, friends, everything. You know,
I'll
who's
bring
this
it.
guy? He just goes like party this that. I just look one. I look straight and I don't look back.
And more than anything, you really end up speaking based on facts, right, and not just opinions. And I'd say I don't know if it's right to say this, but as of KRC's last event, which was in Phoenix, and which was in Whitefield, and they advertised it as the biggest event in the mall. I think around 70-80 people ended up showing up. So yeah, and
So
yeah, that's
it's not about that.
it's not. We're not dissing
It's
them.
not a bad thing.
Yeah, we're not dissing them. It's just
You know, if you're gonna say we're a copy, give us a
good reason as to why.
Yeah, and honestly, your Mall of Asia event was like way bigger than any of them.
Them, yeah,
So
exactly.
you know what? They wanted the same, right? Mall of Asia wanted the exact same. We told them, you know, they said the first thing they said, we want 800 people. The same thing that KRC achieved, we want the exact same. We told them, no. If you expect that, we're not doing the event. We're gonna get you 1,500 without fail. And you know what? We crossed our expectations and their expectations. We got 2,000 people.
And I'd say like, yeah, at a point KRC was at their peak. That was the only thing people were talking about. But as of now, it's completely like died down. I don't hear people talking about, are you ready for like KRC's next event?
So KRC, right, stands for Kothnur, right? I don't understand if they're having so much problem. Why are they not doing events in their area?
Kothnur, yeah.
And they're doing it at Whitefield.
And the thing is, I feel like the events that they do, they're just copying their old events and just
Yeah, exactly.
What? It's a run.
Bro, so KRC, if they're having such a problem with us, I'm gonna ask it openly. If you're from Kothnur Run Club, if you're doing it at Kothnur, why are you doing events at Whitefield, Yelahanka, Sarjapur? Like, bro, stick to your own thing, man.
and be unique. Don't do the same shit again and again. I mean, come on.
I'd say that's the main reason why they're dying down, because they're doing the same thing over and over again. Everyone's experienced what they've already had to offer, and that's where we stand out. So I don't see a reason for people to say, oh yeah, we're the exact same copy of Kothnur Run.
So
We want to partner up with run clubs. We are not against run clubs. Okay, we want to partner up with a run club who likes to do something different.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna be very straight up. I'm basically giving free advertisement, but something I really respect. I don't know if you've heard is Dod Run Club. Every event I feel like going to, you know, they're doing crazy stuff. We want to partner up with those type of people. If I don't want to partner up with someone who's going to bring my energy down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and we need to be obviously valued and respected if we're to collaborate with other run clubs.
yeah, so the reason why mostly there's rumors spread about us like being a carbon copy of Kothnur Run Club is mostly because we had a run at our second event. That's mostly why I don't really get it, because we're a sports and entertainment organization, and run comes under sports.
But adding to Omar's point, see, out of the Mall of Asia event, we weren't particularly keen on doing a run. It was because we had certain limitations and certain instructions that we had to comply with.
We had to do it. You know, at the end of the day, we thought, you know, if we're going to try about having a run, why don't we use it? It's something that's helping you in your sports.
Yeah, of course.
Right. So we thought of it that way. It's not a run. It's something that's helping you proceed in your sports. Right. And at the end of the day, running is a life skill. It's a life skill, you know. It's something that would help you.
So between TPL and any other run club, and you guys want to collab with them, anyway, but what's the main difference between TPL and these run clubs? It's just that your guys are sports and fitness.
Saying that though, well, we can't even be compared to a run club because we don't do what the run clubs do. We're mostly based off of on what people like.
Yeah, I think the word entertainment where it shows our difference. So when you say entertainment, you're just gonna think it's a rave. So that's not what we do. So that's why we are different, right? So when you say entertainment, we go all out.
Yeah.
That's our difference. We are crazy people. We want to do crazy things. We will achieve it, and we deliver what we say. So that's the main difference, we do crazy things and
I'd say mainly like, when you're categorized as a run club, you have to stick to doing runs. And for us, we have no limitations. We can do whatever we want. Whether we want to include sports, we can also like take any form of entertainment. It could be bowling, it could be
sports.
anything.
When it
We don't have any limitations. That's
when it
mainly
comes
it.
to sports, it's not only football, basketball. You can have a boxing tournament, you can have a bowling tournament. It's something different. Like, people are waiting. I don't want to be cocky, but like people want to come to our events because they know we are gonna do something crazy.
So, for these run clubs that we were speaking about, do you see them as like inspiration or like competition or just people doing their own thing?
For me, I wouldn't say. See, everyone has to do something at the end of the day. They have to run a business, a community, or whatever. Let them do this. We'll do ours. But we stand out is because we're bringing new concepts at every event. Every event has a newer concept added to it. So that's why I wouldn't call anyone a competition. I wouldn't call anyone an inspiration. I'd say our inspiration was us four, having each other's back.
And like one more thing, like why if the US can have it, why can't we, right? The slip and slide, I don't think anybody's done that in India. So it's a US concept. It's like, they have it, why can't we, right? Let our people
I'm
experience.
going to move on to some individual questions asking each of you. Starting with Sarva. You're the creative guy of the group. You always provide the counter opinions. As Krish said, you provide the stats. You try to look at the other side of things. Where do you get this mindset from and how are you like shaped like this?
I'd say like mainly always looking at the situation from a different perspective. Could this realistically work out? Rather than, okay, we can do it, you also got to think of maybe the possible limitations, the possible problems that can occur in the process of executing an event. So you always got to look at the different aspects and not only the pros of it. Yeah, so that's mainly where I get it.
So Sarva, you do calisthenics, like you go to the gym, you make your own food for the gym and all that. Obviously, this needs you to be very disciplined to what you're doing. Yeah. How do you feel like this discipline helps you when it comes to TPL?
I mean, yeah, definitely. Like, when you have so much work and like so many ideas running through your brain, obviously you got to take the heat off. Like, you got to take some time to yourself, have some personal time. Like, go to the gym, get your mind off it, and then I'd say many of the times ideas come to you when your mind is mostly free. So when I do a lot of these things, like when I go to the gym, do my calisthenics, do whatever, I do end up thinking of certain ideas that can help TPL because my mind's at such a free space. Yeah. So that's it. Like definitely like keeps me at peace when I'm doing these certain things.
So now moving on to Krish. You said you started an NGO one day. Just how did this happen? Just out of the blue? Where do you occur this community feeling? Does it connect to TPL in some way?
Yeah, so one was because why I started is because I take global perspectives as a subject and you needed to do this as a team project, right? So it started out just as grades, but then it wasn't with these guys. It was with people I barely knew from my class. And I think it's just in me that I like organizing stuff. It was just, so I'll tell you the thing about this NGO. I had to host a talk with a cybercrime specialist, right? It's to help old age people know more about cybercrime. And it was on the same day I had the Mall of Asia event. So, I was up from 2 a.m, finished the Mall of Asia event, went back home, changed into something formal, and then I had to rush to my other event. So I think I just like having that pressure, and again, it's helping out the community. Why only do these fun things for our age people? So I tried, why don't I do something for the older age people? So at the talk, it was just with someone who works with the government really close. And me asking that guy questions, the crowd asking questions, just organizing it helped.
So how was your NGO taken off now?
So it's not really an NGO, I wouldn't say. So I'm not planning to have future talks, but after that one talk I was pretty confident that it did help a few old age people, and maybe in the future partner up with a online police crime, make few videos. We did make a video. This my NGO was posted on YouTube to show other people about all these things.
So you handled all the last minute chaos like with TPL. What is like the dumbest or like maybe even funnest moment that you had during this chaos?
So yeah, when it comes to last minute chaos, so I always tell these three guys that I'm not coming overnight. Okay, I wouldn't do that. There's something my dad also recommended me. So I think it's not because they are doing it. That's why we achieved everything. But I sort of play a role and having energy in the event. Right. So Karan, Omar, and Sarva, they've worked their ass off the whole night. They've not gotten one bit of sleep. Yeah. Right. And in the event, you don't expect them to have. And the fact that they've been working their ass off during the event, that's where I come in. Handling the last minute chaos during the event, trying to push these guys also, and I sort of just enjoy the chaos.
So you've built things from scratch twice, the NGO, TPL. What have you learned and what's the biggest lesson you've learned at this age?
I think one of the biggest things I've learned is actually liking what you do. If I didn't like any of this, I wouldn't have been anywhere. So the fact that I'm enjoying even the NGO, it sounds boring, I had to do my research, sitting on my laptop for 2 hours writing documents, questions, this, that. It sounds boring, but when I'm thinking about the outcome, it gets way more interesting. Yeah.
So now moving on to Omar, you are a professional centre back, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
So while doing all of this TPL and all that, how do you balance your sports, your football, and along with this? Because obviously he says this takes quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, I go to training at like 7:30 in the evening and come back at like 9:30, 10 in the night. So that's not really a problem because after all that TPL pressure, you have to like get your mind off, you have to like calm down. So you go to training and then I come back and then me, Sarva, Karan and Krish get on a call and we like talk about like the next event or whatever. Even if there's nothing like to talk about, we still get on a meeting and still like talk about anything. Yeah, that's it. And also like football makes me like clear my mind and
It's
Wait,
consistent with what you're doing.
yeah, it makes me consistent with what I'm doing because mostly me and Karan we handle the sports part of the thing. So yeah, that's also it.
So you've played football at a competitive level in both UAE and India. What do you think are these differences in both the countries? And how does this connect to your TPL handling the sports and entertainment sector, seeing sports in two different countries?
I'd say football in UAE is a lot more easier to get in. You can, like in India, of course, you can't really do anything with football because, of course, you have to pay like a lot of money and all. But in UAE, it's not that hard. Like you can get into playing state very easily if like you have the skills too. And it doesn't really like make any difference with TPL. Like it's like not that much pressure. Like it's chill.
How
No.
do you manage your homeschooling, TPL, and football? How do you not go insane and like time management?
See, homeschooling is it's not like actual school. You don't go to school. You just stay at home. You get your books. You study, and they like give you a center, and they like you go write your exam whenever you choose to. So since we have TPL like in separate months, so I take out like 1 or 2 months to like study for my exams and like choose a specific date for the exam and go write it.
Karan, moving on to you. Apparently, TPL came in your head first. You were the mind behind all this. How did this happen? What are the experiences you had?
So basically, for me, it was to build a community and to have the next best thing in Bangalore, especially. And I needed some people who I could really trust, and that's when these three came. But for me, I would say it's the entrepreneurial mind which I had, which runs in the family, where you have to do something which not everyone does, and I had to do something which makes me happy as well as it being fruitful. So that's where the whole idea came.
So for your second event, we've spoken about this a lot. You guys, like you said, you pull like 2,000 people, maybe more. How do you guys like manage this hype? How do you get the hype for it? What is your secret towards this hype itself?
The secret to the hype is the four of us.
Oh.
The hype we create is the hype which flows. If we're not excited about the event, our people won't be excited.
Yeah.
The hype which we build gets flowed to the our audience.
And basically, we leave the from the previous event, we leave everyone wanting more. So that's what kind of leads on to the next event, where people are like, okay, we need to be there this time because they left us off last time having a great experience.
So yeah, I'm gonna be very honest. We were planning a rave at Guild and a pickleball tournament, but at that time, after doing the Mall of Asia event, we thought everything would just come easy to us, right? So none of us really, the meetings reduced. We didn't really go to the venue. We didn't. So the pressure was not there, and towards the end of the event, like shit, we have to postpone, and nothing was working out because none of us showed any energy. So that plays a big role, like energy in general.
If you have a certain thought about the event, if you think that it can go well, then it definitely will go well.
So last question for you, Karan. You also have played football for many years as a winger, and how does this energy translate into your founder role at TPL?
So basically, I just wanted to, do something which keeps me focused and consistent. And when I stopped football recently, as I got a really bad injury, and after that, I still needed to do something because I'm the kind of person who can't sit at home whatsoever. And to go out and do something good is what my parents will be happy about too. So that's when the whole TPL came, and that's when I channeled from being a footballer to watching people play football, and that still makes me happy.
So, what shocked you guys the most after your event was completed itself? Like the turnout, the vibe, the chaos, all of that. What shocked you guys the most?
Okay, yeah. So I think one thing that shocked me the most is that the fact that we got more than what we expected. We told them we'll get 1,500 people, and after telling them, it's not like we can back out, right? So we towards the end of the event, we've not gotten more than 400 registrations. And then suddenly something just happened, and then we start getting more registrations, and we got I think 1,300 online.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, after doing the click counter and all of that, we saw the counter was approximately, it was 2,000 people. It was 2,000 plus actually.
Yeah.
So that shocked me the most.
And I'd say all of us having zero sleep the night before, it was so hard to comprehend. As the event was ending, we're all just huddled up in one corner and we're just looking around in disbelief. People are just crowding up near the stalls trying to get the free products, and they're just trying to after that they're all so tired and they're all trying to leave. People are dripping in sweat. All of that just made us feel good.
Also, I'd like to mention, I'm not only surprised because of the event. So that day I was coming back from a trip, and all these boys came to pick me up, right? So we were at Buffalo Wings. We went to go eat lunch there, right? So one of us was wearing the TPL merch, right? Somebody out of nowhere, the what was he?
Manager.
The manager of Buffalo Wild Wings in India just pulled up to us, and he said, I love what y'all are doing. Why don't we collaborate? And the fact that we've built something so big, I mean, not so, he didn't know it was so big, right? The fact that we built something where the management of Buffalo Wild Wings just pull up to us and ask us is that's crazy.
And it was so unexpected that.
Yeah, it was very random.
So talking about your future events, guys, can you give us a promo for the next event? What's happening? Any new details? What's going to happen in the event, and how's it going to go?
Y'all really aren't ready for this. I don't know how we've come up with this idea, but we've got something mad.
We've outdone ourselves for the next event, and it's gonna be insane. And not to add, we're gonna sell out our free merch. We're gonna
we've got a merch. You wanna get up and show them?
We're gonna do a free giveaway of our merch.
That's kind of gas.
It's mad. We've got some crazy shit planned for y'all. So I'm gonna talk about the event a little bit. So we don't want people to know. We want people to be waiting. We've got a really good response. We posted a story and we've got a really good response. This event is it's going to be limited, but we've got an arcade rave at Dave and Buster's, right? And we're planning, if it works out, we're going to do a bowling tournament in Dave and Buster's.
And we're gonna have
first in Bangalore. Nobody's done a bowling tournament.
Yeah, of course.
So it's going to be a full-fledged rave too happening, because they have a perfect bar where people can chill. There's tables. It's going to be exactly like a coffee rave. It's going to be insane. It's we've taken inspiration of Fred's coffee party. You've seen it in Dubai, right? So we're trying to take inspiration off of that.
And this is gonna be the last event of our year, so we're definitely gonna end it with a bang. We're just gonna kill it. And
I don't want to talk a lot, but as you all know, Dave and Buster's is in a mall. And we're looking at bikers coming in and going on crazy because y'all love the rev part, right? So we might get, I don't want to, I'm just because we're all here, I'm talking about it, but we've got bikers coming in the basement doing wheelies, burnouts, everything. But let's see.
That's not confirmed. So
But let's see if it works out.
Yeah, but it's definitely an event all of y'all should be at.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna get into more of like a rapid fire sort of section. Out of the four of you, who do you think is the most serious?
Karan.
Yeah,
I'd
I
say
feel like
without a
Karan,
doubt.
he always pushes us to our limits.
It gets irritating at one point. He's so pissed. He's known for the fights. He's a chaos, bro. He's always fight. But one thing I respect, he's always pushing us. And yeah.
So adding on to that question, the most chaotic would be Karan again.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Who always shows up late to somewhere, you guys?
Karan and Sarva. Sarva and Karan.
I show up on time most of the time. Hello.
I
By
would
the
say
way,
Omar.
What?
Yeah, I would say Omar, bro.
Bro.
See, I'd say everyone has
I think
their
it's a
own.
mix. It's a mix.
It's
for
a mix
sure.
of all, yeah.
So who's the big idea guy who comes up with all the new ideas, innovative stuff and all? The big idea, the brainstormer.
I think that's not something you would. We all
It's, yeah, we all
somebody
sit and do
starts-
together.
Somebody
together.
starts and everybody.
Who's the guy that like gets shit done? If you go to someone, you ask them to do something, you are certain he's going to be able to deliver. He's going to do that.
So we divide our work like individually. So the four of us have enough amount of work to finish the whole thing.
Yeah.
So it's not like one aspect of work is just put on.
So one thing you love the most about each other, the work ethic, the discipline, the something. What do you love most about each other? And you four as like a group.
I would say the trust we built and
the
I
hard
think it's also the fact that we do anything together. One day we'll be going out bowling, Church Street, this, that, and one day we'll be waking up at 4 a.m. to go for a trek.
Yeah.
So that's it's just a really mixed thing. Like
Yeah.
one guy will say, "Oh no, I'm too sleepy." All of us yell at that guy.
Yeah, I'd say
we force him, we put him in the car and we just take him.
I'd say the end of the day we all motivate each other to like push ourselves to the limit.
So what is one thing that you guys fight about week after week? And you guys call
I think it's
I'd
about
say-
it's about the work not being done.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
if somebody's and so basically we have daily meetings, right? So we want everyone to join this meeting. Even if it's for 5 minutes, it's not going to exceed over 30 minutes, right? So the person that does not join pays 500 and it goes to TPL's account.
So yeah, we've tried to make it mandatory and we want everyone to actually join.
So who's like the slacker out of the four? He just doesn't join, doesn't do work.
Krish. I think he's paid around like already 1,500.
Yeah.
500.
500 fine. He's openly account for
This is after implementing the fines.
Yeah.
What's your dream event or dream guest to bring to TPL? Dream guest and event both.
Yeah.
So our dream event, I want it to be something like Tomorrowland, but with our concept. Tomorrowland in India, but with our concept.
But we want players like why do we limit? We want like international players coming and playing for our tournament.
We wanted to actually be a worthwhile event, like even if it's a football aspect.
It's like FIFA with entertainment, something like that. We want
Dream guest would be Mr. Beast. Because that's our inspiration,
Yeah.
bro, honestly.
Yeah.
Mr. Beast.
So now just ending off the podcast, the last question. What is one message you guys would give to other people your age who are trying to start something as well and scale it to the same magnitude you guys have?
I would just say off of personal experience that there is no age to start something. You don't need a degree, you don't need anything. You just need knowledge and consistency and dedication and discipline to something, and you will reach somewhere where not even a degree or a whatever school certificate can get you to.
Yeah.
That's what I have to say to all people there who are just waiting
Yeah.
for like a degree to become something.
I'd say if you have any idea, like put it out there. Why not give it a go? There's no harm in trying. So if it ends up working out, yeah, that's good for you. And also mainly think about standing apart. Like you need to like stand out from the other crowd, like other organizations. You need to like think differently. It's mainly it.
I just want to say, if we could do it, why can't you? That's all.
Yeah, and
Just
I
keep it
think
there.
Oh,
one message, this message my dad taught me, and I think I'm gonna live up to it. He always told me, don't be normal. Like, you know, at the end of the day, he's like, you know, if you don't think crazy, you're not going to achieve anything. So that's one message he taught me, and I think it's going to.
It's all about standing out.
It's
honestly.
standing out. Yeah, don't beat the same.
Yeah.
Like, do something different. If it doesn't work out, what do you have to lose? It's not like you're gonna die, right? Like, yeah, maybe you'll get into a loss, but at the end of the day, you know, you have your friends, you
It's
have
all
your
about
family.
it's all about trying. 'cause-
It's all about trying. Like, it's just the fact that, you know, we put ourselves out there and we did it.
Yeah, so I'll just add into that, like, to the people who are watching, you will go through a lot of failures. I personally went through a lot of failures with a lot of different things. And to come up here, because I learned from my mistake. My dad always tells me, learn from your mistake and then try to overcome it and get something better out of it.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I channeled my mistakes and made it better and came up with such a fruitful thing.
Yeah, there's no such thing as mistakes. I'd say it's all like part of the learning process. Like, you learn from whatever mistakes you make and just improve it at the end of the day.
That was one of the best podcasts we've had, guys. Thank you for coming.
We're very excited for the next event. Everybody make sure that you are there.
Yeah.
Definitely. Look, our two VIP guests.
So thank you guys for tuning in today. This was one of the best podcasts we've had. I had a lot of fun today. And thank you to our TPL guests. They're really going to do something big in this industry and going to pop off in the future.
We honestly thought that this podcast would be a lot of chaos, but now after it's done, these people are pretty profound with what they're doing. They know what they're doing. So please make sure to be at their next event and future events.
Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.